Hello, I'm here again, day 5. I just realized that I don't think I introduced myself ever. Well, my YouTube channel says my name, but some people might wonder how to say my name. So it is Kadi. Kadi is a very specifically Estonian name. It's not used in any of the neighboring countries as far as I know. And I did some digging into my name recently, and I found out that specifically from Tartumaa, where is the county that I'm from, South Estonia, and Võrumaa. So the Estonians watching will know these two counties. But for the people who don't know Estonia, these are two counties in South Estonia, and they are just next to each other. And this is quite specific to this area of Estonia. I did some digging into my ancestral lines just recently, and only recently I looked up my name, like where is it even from specifically, or what would it mean, or it's quite rare name in Estonia as well. Kadi is a very popular name in Estonia, but this is Kadi. The ones who are not Estonians maybe can't tell the difference, but Kadi is just K-A-D-I, but Kadi is the K-A-D-I, but the A has the 2 dots on the A. So yeah, I've been wondering where is my name from. My parents are not alive, and even when I asked them when they were around, they weren't really sure. I think my mom mentioned that she read it in a book or something. So, and then I was like, what book? Like recently, just literally a few weeks ago, I was like, what book it could be even? So I went to ChatGPT. I was like, what book it could be? So it said there might be some like short stories or some verses from South Estonia, or there's no like famous book with a famous character that's Kadi, but it could have been some children's stories from South Estonia, maybe something that she read as a child herself. Anyway, so another thing that I wanted to actually share now that I'm talking about my name and how specifically it is from the county that I'm from, and the county over a little bit more south from where I'm from. So I went to genie.com just recently. I had some questions. I came across somebody's name when I went to a cemetery in September, and then I was like, oh, I wonder who is this person? And I started to dig in internet, and I found out that was my grandmother. I didn't know my grandmother's name, or at least I didn't remember. And then I somehow ended up in genie.com, and I looked into my family history, and to my surprise, pretty much all of my family history it's been mapped out. About 90% of it. There's a few names missing, but it's pretty complete picture. And of course, from different sides of the family, different people have been doing this digging, but I literally don't have a whole quadrant missing. It's just like the whole 7 generation, you know how they do this half moon. You start, here's your name and your parents and your grandparents and their parents, and it's going. So I wish I had it handy here. I'm not gonna pause and go now. Actually, I'm gonna pause and show. Now, I'm back. So, what I came up with was this. Now, you don't see all the names, but I am here. And then my mom, my dad, and then layer by layer to 7 generations. But look how much of even 7 generation I have. There's some holes there, but majority of my family tree was there all laid out for me. So I was like, oh wow, this is so amazing. And in some instances I could go even up to 9 generations back. And then I'm not here sharing this only because, oh, look how cool family. I'm just actually here sharing this, thinking that maybe some of you will be inspired to look up your own family. Or maybe you have done so, if you want to share something interesting. The one very interesting thing that I found about my family and my ancestry is not only did I not find anybody, maybe there are somebody that I missed, but all the names are purely Estonian. I could not find anybody from any of the neighboring countries. South Estonia quite often would have people mixed with, get married with people from Latvia or move over from Latvia or Russia or Sweden, Finland, all the neighboring countries, and sometimes people from further afar as well. But as far as I could see, all of them are Estonians. So I don't seem to have any foreign blood in this family line. But that's not even so rare or unusual. But the other thing that I noticed, that they were really all from pretty much 2 counties. Võru, where my mom is from, which is from South Estonia, where my name is from, the same area. And as far as I go back, everybody is from that county. And then Põlvamaa is another county. So just basically 3 counties that are like a cluster of counties in Estonia, South Estonia. Estonia is already so small. It's only, who doesn't know, there's only 1.3 million people living in Estonia. And it's maybe 40, if I remember correctly, 45,000 square kilometers. So it's, if this is the Ireland, for example, I live in Ireland, the whole of island of Ireland, then Estonia is maybe like half of this. So very small, and population-wise even smaller. So even the fact that everybody seems to be from Estonia, everybody seems to be from South Estonia, from basically only 2 counties, and then some migration back to the bigger city from Tartu, where I'm from, later on I could see. But nobody from North Estonia, or nobody from the islands, or nobody from Pärnu. So that was very interesting. So I've been thinking about it, I've been pondering it. My ancestry is very much confined to from the one place, very specific. And here I am in Ireland. So I use ChatGPT sometimes for discussing some topics. So I went and asked, like, what's ChatGPT think? As I find in these topics, if you ask the right questions and you do a good setup for questions, it's very surprisingly interesting and aligned answers come, for me anyway. Especially on these topics, it's not great for everything and anything. But so I was wondering, what does it even mean? If anybody has an idea, what does it mean if your ancestry is from one place? But ChatGPT called it something that's a line holder. So I can't even explain it very well. I barely could understand it anyway. Anyway, it has some significance for sure. And it said, and I'm in Ireland, and I find the energy in Ireland is very similar to Estonian. I've been traveling to many different countries. And Estonia and maybe New Zealand would be also similar energy to Estonia and Ireland. People often ask me, like, how do you find life in Ireland compared to Estonia? I find that it's the least bit of a jump from going to Estonia to Ireland, and culture-wise, and of course things are different, climate is different, people are different, but going from Estonia to Spain would be way more different, or going from Estonia to somewhere in the Asian countries or India would be completely like night and day. So so I was doing some pondering and thinking and reflecting some ideas and searching some things from Google, and asked some questions from ChatGPT just to see how does that even make sense? That why am I then in Ireland at the end of all this, being so in one specific area all these generations, and now I'm away. But after pondering and thinking, so this is how I understand, is, as I said, I'm already a projector in human design. So projector, I don't know, did I mention it? One of the strong, yeah, I think I mentioned it, but one of the gifts or one of the strong sides for projectors is that they can see systems and patterns. I might go through a system very deeply, like I went through a medical system, and then I stepped out of it, and then I can see it very well. So another thing was, I was so looking at my family system as well. So I've been in it, in the same land, in the same place the whole time, and then now still keeping in the same energy that's very like connected to earth and nature and, you know, simplicity and all of these things that you would think of as South Estonian life. I can still stay in a very similar environment here in Ireland, but see things and patterns more clearly while being away. So if you're in it, if you're in something, it's very hard to see clearly. So for clarity, it's quite aligned that I've stepped away from Estonia to kind of step out of the system, to be able to actually see the system. Well, it's only my 5th video, so unless somebody watching me who is already my friend and knows me very well. So from these videos, if you're completely new to me, then you probably don't know much about me yet. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. That thought went away. Okay, moment of quiet. Anyway, it's not coming back. Maybe it's coming back another time. Maybe it's time to actually finish this. I was just telling you about my name, how is it specifically from Tartu and Võru, counties in Estonia that are in South Estonia, and how actually my whole of ancestry is from that area very specifically, and how I've stepped away, and since I stepped away from that energy, I can see the patterns. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is I'm doing a lot of healing work of myself and of my, not healing, I don't even want to call it healing way, this work. Nothing wrong with me per se, like I don't have a diagnosis of anything. Physically, with no diagnosis, and mentally no diagnosis, but I just love to dig in the subconscious and in my psyche and see how can I live my life even better and clear away more karmic layers. So I've been going quite deep into this work from many angles, from many things. So I quite strongly believe that our ancestry is affecting us negatively and positively quite a lot. So we come to this body and we have our own karma from our own cycle of previous lives, which all obviously now we understand happen all at the same time, as time does not exist. But let's call them our previous lives or our whatever coexisting lives. So I believe we come to this world with our own gifts and baggage, good and bad, from our own previous lives, but also we incarnate into this DNA line, into our family line. So many things will be passed on by our parents. So we'll have both of these things to deal with. So yeah, I'm very interested in like things, like as you understand human design. That's at the moment quite active, but over times I've been going through many systems, exploring and studying. And I think one of the very important things for all of us, to find out how to live even more satisfying life is to look into the past and see what patterns are going on and what are you doing unconsciously you picked up from your family line, and maybe it's not even yours. And once you can see it, you can let go of these patterns and these things that might hold you back, these thought patterns that you have taken on as a child completely subconsciously. So I'm going around and digging in the past, hence the looking up my family tree. I love the family constellation work. I definitely will be doing some next year. I haven't done too many constellations myself yet, but I'm very drawn to it. It's very hard. I haven't found really good places to do it here in Ireland. There's one place I went once in Dublin. They don't do it very often. There's one place very far away from me that I'm thinking of going, but it's just a whole weekend trip to go down there. And it's very popular in Estonia, but every time I'm in Estonia, I have so limited time that I can only maybe do 1 or 2 healing modality or go to Reiki session or do 1 or 2 things, but I haven't made it to a constellation a session yet, but I definitely will next year. I have so many things I want to put on the constellation table. Anyway, that was my little rambling about the past and my name. I'm going to have a dinner with my husband now. It does not happen very often that we can go for a dinner without our kids. One is gone for a sleepover and the other one has his favorite childminder friend. It's just a friend who's helping us out, who is coming to mind my son, and we get to go out for dinner and for a comedy show. Should be a good night. So bye bye now. See you tomorrow.